Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is another makeup inventory update. I try to do this every quarter just to keep myself in line, in check, make sure I am not buying a ton of stuff. Spoiler alert, I have bought and received a ton of stuff. So the numbers are a little bit increased right now. We might get another blush declutter coming soon, but that is a-okay. I hope you guys are all having a great day. If you guys like these types of videos, be sure to like and subscribe if you aren't already, and let's just hop into it. Just as like a recap of last quarter in March when I did this video, I had a total of 244 products, and currently I'm at 256. So that is maybe more of an increase than I would typically like. I will say a lot of this is through PR because I did receive a couple of things from Nabla that I did end up keeping, like a lot of things from Nabla that I did end up keeping. And then some of this are just things that I have bought myself the last couple of months. So let's get right on into it. I have this separated out into categories. The first category are primers. In March of 2024, I had 8 and now I'm at 10. I think part of this is because I am including my glowy like mixers, bases as primers, because that is typically the way that I use them, specifically the Say Glowy Super Gel and the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion that I have in the deep bronze shade, I believe. That along with something that I picked up during the Sephora sale, which was the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Primer. So overall, just a couple of additions in the primer category. I still don't think this is too excessive. I do think I could continue to work my way down this a little bit. I've realized that I have a lot of glowy primers, and I don't typically reach for glowy primers or primers in general, just because I do feel like usually sunscreen is enough for me. But I think for the sake of trying to use up my collection, I am gonna add a primer back into my Project Pan this next update. It's time. I think I took a break from primers after I finished the last one that I had in my collection, or the last one that I had in my Project Pan, but I think now I want to bring back another one. I want to try and work through them. Currently at 10, I think hopefully I'm going to decrease this a little bit by adding another primer into my Project Pan. The next category is foundation, and for foundation in March I had 12 and now I am still at 12. My foundation collection has stayed pretty steady. I think I decluttered one, which is the Misha BB cream, because I wasn't really using it, and I didn't love the way that looked on me. I felt like it looked really oily throughout the day, so I decluttered that. I also maybe finished up a product that's in my Project Pan right now, so that was also like a -1 for the foundation category. And then I can't remember exactly which ones I added into my collection. I know one of them is the Supergoop new tinted sunscreen in the shade 26W that I like just purchased and just received, and I'm trying out for the very first time today. I think that's pretty good. I'm glad I was able to finish up a full foundation. That is kind of crazy to me. I'm glad that this number has stayed pretty steady, even if one of them was like a declutter and one of them was a finish up, and I did bring two new ones. This is just to say, you know, it could be worse. For concealers, in March I had 9 concealers and now I have 11. I don't remember which ones are the new ones in my collection. This isn't awful. I know I also want to put in a concealer in my next Project Pan update just to try and work on to use, and I think the one that I'm gonna probably put in is my Tower 28 concealer. I love that concealer. There's no specific reason why I want to pan it, but since I do love it, I want to get more use out of it. I feel like part of my Project Pan should be trying to use up products that I actually love and not just products that I'm trying to finish up completely. That's not set in stone yet, so if during my Project Pan update you hear me say something else, that is why. I don't know for sure yet. That's just kind of my like intuition currently. Next category are powders, and this is actually something that stayed really steady. From March of 2024, I had 10 powders and now I have 10 powders. Hopefully this will be down to 9 because in my Project Pan I'm working on my LYS Triple Fix powder, and this is like almost done. Like all of the product is up against the sides, and it has been a little bit more difficult to like reach in and grab that product. So hopefully the next update you will only see 9 powders, but currently we're at 10. I'm gonna call this like 9.5, honestly, because this is getting pretty low. Since I still have the compact, I am still gonna count it as a powder. I think that's pretty good. I'm glad that I didn't pick up any new ones. I feel like my kryptonite has been powders lately, just because I'm an oily gal. It is summertime where I am the most oily. Didn't pick up any more. Still working through some of the ones in my collection, so we will see where we are at the next quarter. The next category are bronzers. In March I had 19 and now I'm at 20. The one bronzer that I can specifically remember picking up there's 2. So I picked up the Glossier Cloud Paint, and then I also picked up the Say bronzer, like their dewy bronzer gel as well. So those are the 2 that I added in. I think the one that I decluttered is from Catrice. It's their like contour stick, and I didn't love that and ended up decluttering it. So not a huge difference here, maybe a little bit more than I should have, but overall I think that's pretty good. For highlighters, in March I had 8 and I'm still at 8. This is pretty normal for me. I'm not a huge highlighter wearer. Hopefully this will be down to 7, because this highlighter that's in my project pan right now is also so close to being done. Hopefully the next update this will be down to 7, but for now it's still at the same level. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty happy that I'm almost done with the Lilac Bee highlighter that's in my project pan as well. So this next category, you guys know it's going to increase. I love blush. What can I say? In March I had 37 blushes and now I'm at 43. That's a lot. That's 5 blushes in the past couple of months, in the past like 3 months. I know in my heart I'm never ever gonna be able to use up all of these blushes, but I love blush so much. So definitely excessive. Definitely need to like whittle this down a little bit. I think I'm gonna have to do a blush declutter soon. I know already there's a couple that I want to give to my mom. This category is a little bit, I don't want to say embarrassing, because I'm not embarrassed by the number of blushes I have, but I definitely think I should have less than what I do. So not super happy with my progress on the blush category. That is okay. I'm not gonna like be like super upset with myself about it, but I do think this number is a little bit excessive, and maybe I should try and tone that down a little bit. The next category are face palettes. In March I had 2 and I'm still at 2. Face palettes are not something I usually reach for. The 2 that I have, one's from Charlotte Tilbury and one's from Vive. Overall, I don't think I need to increase or decrease this at all. Definitely think I could get some more usage out of the face palettes, but I don't think that I am overly consuming on face palettes, if that makes sense. This next category did increase quite a bit, and I will tell you why. It is my eyeshadow palettes. In March I had 15 and now in June I have 19. The 4 that are increased, I can tell you right off the top of my head. One is the Makeup by Mario, the Master, his All Matte, the Neutrals palette. So I picked that up myself. I purchased that myself. And then I ended up receiving 3 eyeshadow palettes from Nabla in PR. So one is like the baby side-by-side palette. And then there's 2 that are like kind of like these duochrome palettes as well. Maybe more palettes than I need. I do really like the Nabla formula though, so I'm not going to declutter them just yet. I don't feel like I've gotten enough use out of them yet to say that I'm good to declutter them. And so I am going to hold on to them for a little bit longer. All of the other ones that are not the new ones, I love and have kept in my collection for a really long time. So I don't want to declutter just for the sake of decluttering, but that is an increase that I wasn't necessarily expecting to increase on. I think 19 is maybe a little bit much, but that is okay. The next category we have here are lip liners. In March I had 12 and now I'm still at 12. This makes sense to me. I don't think I've fully used up a lip liner since the NYX soft spoken lip liner that I had in my project pan a little bit ago. Lip liner is just something I reach for when I feel like it. I'm not actively trying to pan any right now either, so I don't see this number increasing or decreasing anytime soon. Lip liners aren't necessarily something that I I feel like I need to have in my collection. Like, I don't feel a particular draw towards buying a new lip liner, so I think this makes sense. This is probably going to stay where it is for a little bit longer. The next category are lip glosses and lip balms. In March, I started off with 36 and now I am at 29. If you are new to my channel, I recently did a lip collection declutter. What the heck did I just say? If you're new to my channel, I just did a lip collection declutter, and I did end up getting rid of a few of the products in my lip collection. I have a lot, as you can see. 29 is still quite a lot, quite excessive. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to finish them, but I am actively working on a lip gloss to pan in my project pan, and I have, for the most part, stopped purchasing more. I'm not the best at sticking to that, as you guys know. I think 29 is, I don't want to say manageable, but at least it's a decrease in the number of products. And then in that same declutter that I did, which I will link for you guys, I also decluttered a couple of lipsticks. So for the lipsticks in March, I was at 13 and now I'm at 12. Some of the lipsticks I decluttered were like older in my collection. Some of them were from Nabla that I was sent in PR, and I still have a couple of those Nabla lipsticks. So 12 is not the end of the world. I still think that it's maybe a bit much considering how often I actually wear lipsticks, but I do think each of the formulas in my collection are unique and I enjoy all of them, and so I would like to keep them. I don't think that's like totally insane, but I definitely understand that it is a lot. The next category I have are eyeliners, and this is also a category that increased specifically because I received PR from Nabla. So I had 13 in March and now I'm at 17. The 4 that are new to my collection are these Nabla Cupid's arrows, and I have 4 different shades of them, and I've been enjoying playing with them, and I do actually really like this formula. So I know that's a lot. I know that's more than I probably need, but I actually like this formula, and so I want to keep them. I know that makes my total makeup number count a little bit higher than what I would typically want, but I like them, so I'm gonna keep them. The next category are mascaras. In March, I had 7, and now I'm at 7. I try to cycle through mascaras relatively often, so I will try to switch them out every couple of months. Definitely don't want to get any sort of eye infection or anything like that, so I don't hold on to mascaras for a super long time. This is about what I was expecting. One of them is my lash primer that I use, and then I have a couple of other different formulas that are tubing, some that are just colorful, some that are like K-beauty mascaras. 7 is about accurate. I'm not too concerned about that shift. For single shadows, in March I had 19 and now I'm at 18. I think this is pretty accurate. I know this is a lot of single shadows, but those are typically my most reached for. Whenever I have something on my eyes, it is usually me reaching for a single shadow rather than reaching for an eyeshadow palette. I think single shadows are just easier. I like the way they look on my eyes. I really like that just like sparkle effect, you know? And so glad this has decreased a little bit, but not a ton. The next category are brow products. In March, I had 12 and now I'm at 15, which seems like a lot. It seems like more than it should be. I know that I just picked up one from Milk Makeup. I used it for the first time today and I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it yet. It's their like tubing product. I don't know. So I'm testing that out. Like I said, I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. I know that I picked up the Kulfi gel that I was hoping would be similar to the Refi Brow Sculpt, but it's not. I'm not a huge fan of the Kulfi brow gel, but I'm still gonna try and use it up. And then I also picked up the new e.l.f. dupe for the Refi Brow Sculpt, and I've been trying that out as well. So that's the increase. I haven't used up any brow products that I haven't replaced. The only brow product that I used up is my NYX Lift and Snatch, which I immediately bought a replacement for because that's one of my go-to brow products at this time. So yeah, I probably need to try to start working on brow products a little bit more, but since I got my brows tattooed, I have been so low maintenance with my brows. I try not to do a ton to them, and for the most part, they usually look fine. Probably could stand to do a little bit better, use a little bit more of my brow products, but for right now, I am chilling at 15. I only have a couple more categories. For setting sprays, I don't think I used up any setting sprays. So in March I had 6 and currently I'm at 6. I am considering a little tiny travel size of the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray as part of the 6. So really it's just like a 5, but for the sake of having said bottle, I am gonna say it is 6 setting sprays. The next category are color correctors. Color correctors are not something that I typically buy. When I had a freak out when I learned that I was an olive undertone, I bought a ton of color correctors to try and like mix my perfect shade. I have since found olive undertone foundations that I really like, so I don't really use these color correctors anymore, but I still have them just in case I need them. So in March I had 5. I'm still sitting at 5. I don't foresee myself picking up any more anytime soon. I think that was kind of just like a one and done purchase. Yeah, I don't foresee myself using any color correctors or buying any new color correctors anytime soon. And then the last category, I just have miscellaneous, and the miscellaneous is just my Freck Noir. So I have 1 Freck Noir. I'm still at 1 Freck Noir. I don't foresee that changing very soon. I do think I'm gonna end up calling my Freck Noir an empty because it's starting to get a little bit chunky. I recently purchased the Rudy Berry and Buble collab with like her freckle pen, and I'm excited to try that. So I think technically it's gonna be an increase, but since the Freck Noir that I have is getting kind of weird and chunky, that I'm gonna call that an empty, and it'll kind of be like a replacement for the Freck Noir. So that is everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was a little bit insightful into my collection about all the products that I have and why I have them and why they increase. I'm trying to not overconsume, but sometimes I get a little retail therapy happy. Did it increase a little bit? I don't think it's like too excessive, but I probably should not have had this much of an increase. That is a-okay. I am doing my best, and that's pretty much all I can ever do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.